Happy Sunday. Hope your week has started well and you feel blessed. My name is Dorcas, wanganga, and I will be studying with you lesson 4. And this week's lesson is called Growing in Harmony. Memory text is Acts 15 verse 6, and it says, "And the apostles and elders came together to consider of this matter." So before we go into that, let's look at what the previous verse had said in Acts 15 verse 5. "And there arose a certain of the sect of the Pharisees, which believed, saying that it was needful to circumcise them and to command them to keep the law of Moses. And the apostles and elders came together to consider this matter." So the elders had a matter that they had to consider, and it was about the issue of the circumcision of the Gentiles. In the Signs of the Times, August 25, 1887, it says, "The middle wall of partition between the Jew and Gentile was broken down. They were no longer in separate rooms. The unbelieving Gentile has been reunited with the believing Jew. The Gentile did not crowd the Jew from their original position, but he became a partaker with them of their blessings. Thus was fulfilled the mission of Christ." We know the mission of Christ was to save both Jew and Gentile, and the Jews didn't believe that, so we know that they had a lot of disputing about the issue of circumcision, and that's what they were coming together to discuss. But the door had been open for the Jews. So on Sunday, we are going to talk about sent out on a mission, and we are talking about Paul and Barnabas. Question A, the question was, after the 1 year of Paul and Barnabas in Antioch, how did the local church acknowledge their calling in an official way, urging them to enter new fields? The answer is found in Acts 13, verse 1 to 3, and it says, "Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Maen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul. As they ministered to the Lord and fasted, the Holy Ghost said, 'Separate me, Barnabas and Saul, for the work whereunto I have called them.' And when they had fasted and prayed and laid their hands on them, they sent them away." So what happened was that after they had been teaching for 1 year, and they went and they were ordained into the ministry and sent into new fields. So we see in the extended reading where it says, "God had abundantly blessed the labors of Paul and Barnabas during the year they remained with the believers in Antioch, but neither of them had yet been formally ordained to the gospel ministry." So before being sent forth as missionaries to the heathen world, these apostles were solemnly dedicated to God by fasting and prayer and the laying on of hands. So we are being asked, so what should this teach us? First, it should teach us that we can, as long as there's a work to be done, we can go and work without being ordained. We don't all have to be ordained ministers for us to share the good news of salvation. And secondly, God is a God of order. So when it's necessary for people who are officially given this job, it's also required that they should be dedicated with fasting and prayer. So it's a very solemn work, this work that we've been commissioned to do. So it says here in the last paragraph that just as soon as a church is organized, let the minister set the members to work. The newly formed churches will need to be educated. The minister should devote more of his time to educating than to preaching. He should teach the people how to extend the knowledge of the truth. So, if it's all members who are being taught about, being educated about the truth and how they can share it, they can't all be ordained. But when they are taught, anyone can now become a teacher to anyone. And that's really the teaching on this part of Sunday. So I hope that we understand that we are all have work to do, whether we've been ordained officially by the church or not, we can still go out and do what we've been commissioned by the Lord to do. So I hope you are blessed by this study on Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue on this topic of growing in harmony.